All right. Hey, we're here. This is Justin Bondietti. I'm a Grant Cardone licensee. I am here with Ryan Tompot. He is a great realtor out of Ohio. And we're coming to you today. We've been talking about every day live at 5:05, talking about the concerns, the reasons why people don't buy from you, and what to do about it according to Grant Cardone. And Ryan has a great grasp on his area of expertise, which is real estate. And Ryan, you're a listing agent, is that right?
Yes, I do work with buyers, but I am much more successful at being a listing agent.
Okay, and what does being a listing agent mean, real quick?
Okay, so it means that you represent the seller in a real estate transaction, and the seller hires you to get them the most amount of money, protect them, make sure everything's in order, and basically orchestrate the entire transaction from beginning to through title, escrow, closing, dispersion.
Got it. So you're focusing mostly, so you're not even really, you can represent the buyer, but your focus is more specialized for the most part on just getting people to say, yes, let's consider selling my home. I'd like to hire you to list it, to handle the transactions, help me with this because it's not my thing. And help me make the best decision. Is that right? Would that be appropriate?
Yeah, absolutely. So when I first got into real estate, I thought it was really easy, opening doors and driving nice cars, and that's not the truth. I didn't realize it was selling. So a buyer's agent, and they're fine. They make a lot of money. They open doors, but the buyers run their schedule. As a listing agent, I make quadruple the dollars per hour, but I have to have the skills to go into a complete stranger's home, do an interview with the presentation, handle their objections. It takes a lot of work to build those skills. But once you can get there and work your skills and then teach your skills, it makes you that much better, and you can confidently go close deals.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Totally agree with that. I can imagine that it's a little different being the listing agent compared to being the buyer agent, especially in regards to, Grant says there's reasons, legitimate reasons, meaning people aren't like trying to trick you or trying to blow you off, but there's like legitimate reasons why they can't do business right now, at least from their perspective. And the two reasons I want to talk about tonight is cash flow and budget concerns. I can imagine that. Do you have folks when you go in and you're trying to say, hey, look, I can really help you out with this, that they're like, man, I really don't know if I can because of my cash flow, because of my budget. Are those concerns you ever have to deal with?
Yes. So obviously when I work with buyers and they need funding and we bring them to lenders and they get pre-approved and they don't have enough down, like that's a situation that we come across a lot. But the government, obviously FHA, has loopholes and special programs for all kind of people situations. So like the VA loan is huge because there's no money down,
I've used that
but there's also like way other opportunities to get money rather than your traditional brick and mortar bank. There's so many different.
So hold on, let me clarify one thing. So that you mentioned on the buyer side, right? So thinking just folks on the listing side, when you're trying to get someone to list their home or their property with you, do you ever run into folks that are like, I don't really know, maybe they're concerned about the budget, or they're concerned about are they going to have the cash flow to like fix it up, to have it ready to go? Is that ever something you ever run into?
It's not. I personally don't, because I do, but like a lot of people have me come over and say, what should we do to the house? And most of the time it's nothing. But if I don't recommend doing major things because it depends what market you're in. But like the one thing is before I go on a listing appointment, I want to make sure that the person that is hiring me has the money to pay me. They have equity in the home. So I'm not going to waste my time and go on an appointment if they owe $195,000 on the house and we're selling it for $200,000. because there's no money to pay me. So I don't even go on that. I learned that from Grant.
Yeah.
Don't go on the appointment if you have to ask those pre-qualifying questions. Don't just say, okay, I'll be over at 3:00. Like my kids deserve better than that. So that's one thing I learned from Grant that's transformed my business is make sure they got money to pay you.
So with that though, so that's a legitimate concern on both sides, right? They don't have money to pay you, and you're looking at it saying, I'm not gonna make any money on the deal. So, I think something you probably do. I haven't asked you this. We didn't prep on this or nothing like that.
No, it's just off the cuff.
Yeah. And I know what Grant says, and he talks about helping the buyer, or in this case, the seller, understand how to get there, how to come up with the budget to do it. What is the actual real problem that this solves for them to where they could get the money to take care of that, to create the buffer, create the equity, or to fix it up however it is, right? Or also the cash flow. How can they create the cash flow to start paying down that note and create that equity so that they can, maybe do something with the property? Is that something that you would be able to help somebody with?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. There's so many different ways to get money. You just got to know how to look for it, and you can't.
Give us an example. What's an idea you had?
Okay, so I've had this idea for a while, and I literally put my foot down and said, I'm not like I work my butt off, and I'm paycheck to paycheck like everybody else, and I said enough with that. So I am a real estate agent. I see people doing this all the time, and I'm doing it. And here's the deal: I found a house for $25,000. It needs $25,000. Okay, so we're gonna have 50 into it. I got a voucher from Section 8 that will give me $1,000 a month guarantee. So I'm gonna spend $50,000, get a renter in there, get it cash out refi, get it appraised for $100,000. They're gonna give me 75% loan to value, so they're gonna hand me a check for $75,000. Okay. But I need this. I need the 60, and I say 60 because there's title, closing, and an escrow fee. So I'll be all in at 60,000, but I don't have 60,000. I was like, there's money everywhere. Where do I get it? So I just started asking people that I know that have money. I said, hey, I have this scenario, and I want to see if you think it sounds like a good deal. And this is totally out of Grant's book. You bring your deal to somebody that would be interested, but don't come off as asking them. Say, what would you say if somebody came to you and said, I'd like to borrow $60,000. Here's what I'm doing. You're protected. If I die, your name is on the deed. You own the house. That's your protection. Okay. And I'm going to get it fixed up and rehabbed and cashed out in 3 months. And so I'll pay you 15%. So we borrow 60 grand. There's 9 grand in interest. Okay. You divide that by 12. It's $750 a month. So this guy's going to put 60 grand into my account, and I'm going to, the next month, I'm going to pay him 750 grand, but I'm buying a house, fixing it up, rehabbing it. And in the end, I will have the 15,000 spread from the 60 to the 75. I could put that in my pocket, and I have a $400 a month mortgage, and I'm getting $1,000 a month. I'm cash flowing $600 a month, and I never used a penny of my own money. I just know how to do it.
Gotcha.
And I kept asking people, who do you know that might know somebody that has money that they're only making 0.7% in the bank that I could give them 15%.
Yeah, that's the deal.
So that's one way you can create instantaneous money coming in and with no money. Like saying I don't have money, I stopped using it as an excuse. And you should too. Everybody should.
Yeah.
There's so much money. Like, you just got to know how to get it. I teach people how to get it, where to get it, what to say, what to do.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, no, there's just real quick, there's 2 points on what you said there that I found interesting. You said you got a Section 8 voucher. And I can tell you right now, I know nothing about that. I have no idea how you would go about doing that. I don't know if it's different for me where I'm at in Maryland compared to where Ohio is. I would think so. I don't know. Also, too, you were saying about you reached out to people to say, hey, who wants in on this deal? And I really like that part, because no matter like that's selling, but you're not a salesperson. You're just reaching out to people you know, and the ability to prospect and just say, hey, I have an idea. Does anybody want in on this? Does anybody want to know about this? That's a great skill to have.
Absolutely. And it didn't come overnight. I've been working on it and script practicing and role playing and listening to books and reading books. But once you have the ability to not be scared, and there's no fear anyways. The worst thing the guy can do to me is hang up, and that's okay, because then now he's in the other column. But just having the drive, and I'm doing it because my back's against the wall right now. I got so much stuff going on and coming at me. Like, I just got to push forward and get into motion and momentum. And like Grant says, I have the number dialed on the phone, and I'm sitting here scared to push the button, because what if he says this? What if he says that? Just push the button.
Well, he's already saying no. He's already saying no if you're not even asking, right? Like, it's
exactly. So, like, there's no excuses. If you want money, you can get it. And like the one guy, this other guy that I'm mentoring with, he wanted a new boat. The boat is $700 a month. He got somebody's money. He got a house to get $700 a month. That pays for his boat, just like that.
Nice, love it.
It's sweet.
All right, so we're gonna be real quick. We're gonna be doing Ryan and I are gonna be doing a challenge, a 3-day challenge. It's gonna be 1 hour every evening for 3 days coming up, September 14th, 15th, and 16th. It's a free challenge. What we're gonna do is we're gonna help folks apply the exact steps from Grant Cardone on their prospecting efforts. We'll have a chance for you to ask questions, interact, so we can help you hopefully increase your leads by 30% in 72 hours using Grant's methodology. If you want in on that, please text YES, Y-E-S, to 410-357-6205. That's 410-357-6205. Also, too, if you want to reach out to Ryan, how can people get a hold of you?
Okay, RyanTompot@gmail.com, theakronhomepro.com. They can call 330-551-3113, or LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all of that. Type in Ryan Tompot, real estate agent, and my number will be there.
That's awesome. I love that, Ryan. You're everywhere. So pretty much just Google Ryan Tompot. You'll find it.
I'm the only one. No, actually, I have a niece in California. Her name's Ryan, but it's spelled differently. But I'm the only one in the world. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. All right, y'all. So today we're just touching base real quick on reasons people don't buy from you and what to do about it from Grant Cardone. It's the Realtor edition. We're talking about cash flow concerns and budget concerns and what to do about that. And bottom line is as the person trying to help others, whether you call yourself a salesperson or just a realtor or just a friend, really it's about how can you help that person see the bigger picture? How can you help them understand how to get the cash flow, or how can you identify what the real problem is to help them overcome that budget concern? Hey, Ryan, do you have any parting thoughts before we jump off of here?
No, I look forward to being here to help people out, and don't ever hesitate to ask questions, because that's how you learn.
Wonderful. All right, Ryan. All right, y'all. Have a good night.
Peace. Thank you. See you tomorrow.